What's up, everybody? I'm sorry it's dark. Well, first and foremost, Happy New Year. All right. I hope this year brings you guys everything that you freaking want. All your dreams come true. All your goals become realizations. And nothing but positive thoughts and prayers for you guys. Anyways, I'm here at work today. I'm going to get into this video right now. It was done about 2 weeks ago, but since that time, I want to say we sold about 3 or 4 more cars. So we'll have to get a recap of the total dollar amount that the dealership brought in. I believe 2 of those were going to be mine. And what we're going to start doing now is breaking it down video by video, car by car, and telling you guys how much I made and how much I lost, etc., etc. I'm going to try to put those out every single Monday. I want to put out a loss or profit video for you guys. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this video. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave Mo. Dave Mo Flips, T-Mus 100%. Let's get this thing going over here. So it's my favorite part of the year. It's where I get to sit here and see how we did this year. So, let's get into it. So this year, as a dealership, we sold 168 units. Now keep in mind there's no financing, it's all cash cars, okay? This does not include wholesale deals. This is straight retail. 168 units for a grand total of, this is less the taxes and registration and stuff like that, $659,000, 731. So it's $660. We made $660,000 this year. That's not profit. That's gross income. That's what we brought in. And I'm going to be honest with you, that's horrible. I don't know if we just weren't selling as many cars because now we have a car salesperson who really doesn't. I want to be respectful when I say this. He's not a sales guy. He shows cars, okay? So he'll go out there and he'll show the vehicle, he'll hand keys and say it runs fine and that's that. Certainly not a closer. For instance, when the owner and I were selling cars, we're what you would consider closers, okay? We're going to make the deal. As a matter of fact, anytime that I've been here and someone was going to walk away from a deal, I actually jumped up and saved the deal. I'm not high pressure, but I am high motivation. I want the car to sell for this price. You want it for this price. My next question is, are you ready to buy right now today? Because if you're not ready to buy right now today on the spot, then there's really no reason for us to be having a conversation about money, okay? As where some other individuals like, okay, not a big deal. Or they got to pick up a phone and say, hey, would you take this, that, the next thing? And when they call me, my first question always is, are we making a deal today? Or are we just fucking kicking the pot? You know what I mean? Another thing is, you can switch them over to different vehicles, this, that, the next thing. And again, it's not high pressure. It's just knowing the cars like the back of your hand, right? Like you need to know every car on your lot like the back of your hand. You need to know the price, the mileage, what's good, what's bad. You just need to know cars. If you don't really know cars like that, then you really shouldn't be in this game. So we could go look at any car I have out there on the lot, especially one that's mine, and I could tell you the MPGs. I could tell you, what the price is. I could tell you the mileage. I know this stuff. I have a really good memory, okay? So I'm not saying that's the reason why our number is as low as it is. I'm just saying that is something that, the owner and I is definitely going to look at. That's without a doubt. Because again, if something that we're doing is not making us money, then it's not working, right? I think that's fair to say with any business. So, last year, we sold 283 units, all right, for a grand total of $941,000. We're talking nearly $250,000 in difference, okay? You're talking over 100 cars, 100 less cars, all right? And that was in 2021. And I'm not sitting here, putting the blame on anyone. I'm just when you own your own business and you're doing stuff, you need to look at stuff like this. You need to see what it is exactly that is different from this year than the years prior, right? So in 2020, when we absolutely had no sales guy and all the reps were selling their own cars, okay? Now this is gonna be like, whatever. We sold 425 units, okay? We made $1.2 million in that year. Again, can we say it's the salesperson? Possibly. Can we say it's, the change? Well, if you want to talk about the market crashing and this was pre-COVID, right? 2020 was when COVID came out. I think the end, or it might have been the end of 19. I could always look it up, or you could look it up, whatever, right? But I don't necessarily think that COVID ever stopped car sales. In my opinion, it stopped created the shortage for new car sales, but used car sales were always going. We were considered essential, so we did not have to slow down. There's a lot of things that get put into numbers like this, so it's not solely on the salesperson, but if you had to ask me, 425 to 160 is a huge drop, okay? A huge drop. And one of the main things that I would look at as the owner of the company would be who's selling the cars. When you have someone out there that's just selling cars because they're going to get paid X amount of money versus someone who's selling cars because they want to sell cars, there's a huge difference, okay? The amount of money that individual is going to make, right? No one's going to sell your product better than you. Let me say that right now. No one is going to sell your product better than you. These are some pretty good numbers considering we're a cash lot, and a shitty cash lot at that. Like, we don't have, it's not very appealing here. It's dirty as hell. As many times as I've cleaned it, I'm sitting at the sales guy's desk. Here. I'm sitting at the sales guy's desk, and this is where people are going to come and sit and do deals, okay? This, to me, that to me is embarrassing. If someone walked in here right now and I was sitting at this desk, I'd be embarrassed. I probably couldn't do a deal here. This is embarrassing to me. This right here, you got more stuff over here. This desk over here has stuff. My desk is pretty clean, but they moved a lot of the car part stuff in behind me, which is fine. But this to me is super embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing. How can you conduct business like this? And I don't know that it has anything to do with it, because usually by the time they're at this point, they're already sold. But I can't conduct business like this. I'm a very clean person, almost to a fault. Well, let's look at yours truly. Let's see. So again, as a grand total this year, 2022, it's the 21st, so there's still 9 days left in this year. About a week, about a week and a half. So the dealership sold 167 cars, $660,000 in gross revenue came through here. Let's take a look at who made, how much money I made this year. So this year, okay, I sold 36 cars in total. That's about 3 cars a month. And keep in mind, I do work, and this is my part-time gig. Out of those cars, my gross sales was $152,000. Okay, as you guys know, I like to spend between $1,000 and $2,000 per car. So let's just say I spent $2,000 on every single car. I bought 36 of them, so that would be $72,000 in cars. Subtract that from the 150, I'm looking at a $68,000 profit margin for this year. Is that good? Yeah, fuck yeah. Who am I kidding? I made $70,000 this year, part-time doing nothing. And again, that's just a rough estimate. Don't take that to the bank. I have to go over the numbers. I have to go over what I have invested. I have to go over, there's a lot of things that I have to break down and get into to figure out my gross profit, okay? To figure out my actual net profit, I apologize. So with that being said, let's just say 50,000. If I only made 40 or 50,000 for the year doing this part-time, not really having to be here, that is great money, in my opinion. You know, and for me, I'm definitely not mad at that at all. Sorry. I don't, you know, I do really well at my career, so I don't need this money. This is really just a, you know, this is really just a bonus for me. I'm looking at some other reps right now to see what they did. See how we're doing. This guy sold a lot of cars. Now, mind you, this guy was always a lot of his time was spent here. So I'm not gonna disclose his information, but he did do really, really well. Well, I'll tell you, he himself sold 99 cars. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hold on, this is wrong. So I went to last year. So last year, it looks like I only sold 23 cars and I made $74,000 in profit last year. So things do change, things happen, and around this time, COVID was going full speed ahead, and I was given the opportunity to work a lot more at my career. When I'm working my career, I get paid overtime and differentials and a bunch of different things. So it's taken me away from buying cars and you know, having them here, etc., etc. So last year, not so many cars made, not so much profit made, but I probably ended up making a shit ton more money on the other side of things. Anyways, guys, again, let me go back up here because I already forgot my number for this year. I want to say it was 32 cars for 150,000. Let's see. $36 cars sold, $152,000. So I'll get to it and I will figure out exactly what I have. The fun part about this now is you'll probably start seeing a bunch of videos coming out with, you know, the ins and the outs of what did it take to get this car from purchase to sale. And that'll be that, you know. So those are fun videos. I've tried my best to not make those videos. But I've gotten emails where people actually want to see that type of information. I've done the best I can to not. So here's the thing, guys. I could follow what's the trend, okay? That's what other YouTubers do, just so you know. They follow trends, okay? I don't know if you've noticed this. The market's gonna crash. You have these YouTubers that make videos about the market crashing. Cars are doing good. You have the YouTubers making that. Everyone's selling exotic cars. Now every video is coming out about exotic cars. It's how the algorithm works. You want to follow the leader and follow the trend, and that's how you get clicks and more money. I personally don't do this for that. It would be an added bonus if I started making money on YouTube, and I would love that. Don't get me wrong, But this is actually for my people that are looking to get into the car business and actually be dealers. I don't want to go and say bona fide dealers, because a bona fide dealer owns the dealership, okay? What I do here, you know, a lot of bona fide dealers look down upon. I can't say they're right and I can't say they're wrong. I think if I was paying $5,000 a month in rent and I had all this overhead and I had to sell 5 cars just to break even, I think I would feel some kind of way too when I got this guy down the road who spends $450 a month and doesn't care about overhead, can sell a car for a $500 profit and still make money. It doesn't matter to that guy. I might actually say that they're ruining the game. But with that being said, you know, you definitely want to figure this stuff out for yourself. And you know, if it's something you want to do, get involved with this. It's a lot of fun, to say the least. Okay. Another thing, someone left me a comment in one of my videos, and then I went to respond and I couldn't respond. So I don't know if YouTube gets rid of the comments or what. That's not something I do. I don't get rid of comments, whether they're positive or negative. As a matter of fact, someone left me a very negative comment on one of my other videos saying that I was a hater, and I responded and I pinned it to the top comment. They had mentioned that I was full of jealousy because this other YouTuber started at the same time with me, has less videos, and has, you know, almost 200,000 subscribers. So I simply said to him, I was like, I'm not a hater at all. I just choose not to sell my soul for this shit. Like, I don't want to follow the leader. I don't want to do that. I want to do my own thing. All right. And that's what I do. I do my own thing. But with that being said, this other comment that came in today actually said that, you know, like, oh my God, you're crazy. You know, the amount of money you guys charge over there for dealer reps is ridiculous. I know this guy that can do this, that, and the next thing. It was way cheaper. Way cheaper. So here's what I want to say to you guys. Number one, YouTube is a worldwide platform, okay? I don't necessarily pitch you guys on becoming dealer reps for this company. That's number one. I do not want to make money off of my subscribers. Are there some subscribers that have jumped on? Yes, absolutely. If they lived in the area and they were like, hey man, I really want to do it, this, that, the next thing, and I left it up to them. Never once was it pitched to them to become a dealer rep. Are there other companies out there that'll do it cheaper? I'm positive there are. This is a business like anything else. If you go and there's 2 gas stations on the corner, one's going to be a penny cheaper than the other. It's competition, okay? And number 3, I know 110% that I am not the cheapest in Tampa Bay. You can go with other dealers and you can become a rep for their company for much less. What I do know is we've had the license for 20 years. We've had the location for 20 years. I say we, but it's actually the owners, okay? I just happen to be the guy who runs it for him now, okay? I'm not worried. I've done enough business with this individual that I know I can trust him. When I just dropped him off $5,000 in checks. Not a huge amount, but I had a couple checks that I had laying around in the business's name, and I was like, yo, I need to get these cashed. So I brought it to his house this morning at like 5:30 in the morning before I went to work, dropped him off and woke his ass up and was like, yo, get your ass to the bank, deposit these, I want them by Friday. Yo, no problem, man, I got you. We're on that level. Not anyone could go to his house, not anyone could wake his ass up, and not anyone could joke around like, yo, I want this money. You know, you feel me? But again, when you're dealing with owners of companies, you have to understand that the cars you're buying are ultimately in the dealership's name, okay? So am I the cheapest? No. Do I think I'm the cheapest? I know I'm not the cheapest. I know a guy in Miami right now that'll give me a license plate and auction access for a year for like $2,000. Do I know he's been out of business 3 or 4 times? Yes. Do I know the headaches of when a dealer goes out of business and you have the title in the dealership's name? You had to scramble to go find another dealership to sign it and sell it and do all that kind of bullshit for you? Yes, it's a pain in the ass. Is every deal that's better than mine a bad deal? Definitely not. Definitely not. Another thing, a lot of these dealers are like, oh yeah, we'll charge you $150, $175 every time you buy the car. every time you buy the car. Guys, I charge $200 when you sell the car. It is written in the paperwork that I have here. We charge that $200 to the client. So it doesn't have to come out of your pocket. As where if you were paying that $200 up front at the auction when you paid for the car, you'd have to pay that money, regardless to when you sold the car. We allow you to keep that money in your pocket and pay us when you sell the car. All right? So again, there's a lot of different things that you want to learn. I mean, I could have put this away, but at this point, what difference does it make? That's a fucking pigsty. I mean, fucking underarm deodorant over here. Like, this isn't your fucking bathroom. Anyway, you know, so keep that in mind, guys. But I do want to get the point across. I don't delete comments. I never have. I never will. It's not the person I am. I'm not doing all that. If someone said it, I'll defend myself. I'll try to give my points to the argument, and that's it. Right or wrong, that's what we are. I'm not going to change the rates that we have here because we know we are competitive. We know what we bring to the table, and that's just that. But now you know what this dealership made for the year. I mean, yeah, we might go up a little bit, sell some more cars in the last 2 weeks, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, I know that was a pretty boring video, kinda, but it's also fun. I kind of geek out over finances. I like to see people's actual money. Not that I'm counting it, but I just want to see if it's something we're gonna get involved with. I want to see actual paychecks, not stories. But there'll be a lot more videos coming out with this is sold for this amount of money, and I should have just printed it out right now. And that's it. So we're gonna have some fun now, making a couple videos. I'll get a bunch out, and I'll try to make it Money Monday. And that'll be that, all right? So stay tuned, stay riding with your boy. I really appreciate it. Much respect, much love. I'm out of here. Later.